Harshpati Singhania, MD of JK Paper, joins us right now live. Mr. Singhania, thanks so much for joining in. I believe you guys were, the paper industry were expecting that you might see an easing in import duty of raw pulp to ease the rising cost pressures. What do you take away from the budget?
Well, from the budget, as far as the paper industry is concerned, the import duty on waste paper has been brought down to nil, which is what we were expecting. So that is fine. I think that's a good move. The only thing was that we had asked for, because fiber is short in this country, so we had asked for import duty on pulp, imported pulp, to be also brought down to zero, which has not been done for the overall writing and printing paper sector. So I think we would like that to also be brought to zero, because waste paper and pulp are two alternate raw materials ultimately to make the same thing, which is to make paper. So that is one. As far as the import duty on finished goods is concerned, there I think we are reasonably satisfied, because we had asked or submitted to the government that import duty should not be brought down further, and on the basic level of import duty. To that extent, it remains status quo. Of course, at 10%. Of course, import duty is lower for paper being imported from certain countries due to FTA agreements that India has entered into with those countries.
Industry bodies were asking for a tough scheme for paper industry as well. What is the extent of capex needed over the next few years, and how much of an investment gap do you see there?
See, the TUF scheme, or what is now called a TMAP scheme for the paper industry, is something which is needed, because we are talking about modernization for the industry. And industry is a very capital intensive industry. And a lot of capital equipment and expenditure goes towards also environment friendly equipments and abatement of pollution equipments. So the industry has been pleading for a scheme of this nature, which can help alleviate some of the capital cost impact on the industry. There I can't give you a number as to what is the amount, but the numbers could, it depends on what is allowed, but there would certainly be very large numbers involved, if depending to what extent is covered under a TUF scheme.
Let's talk about the company per se, Mr. Singhania. How is the Orissa plant expansion coming along? And by virtue of this, what's the overall uptick in sales? What are the annual savings that you would be targeting?
See, as far as JK Paper's Orissa expansion is concerned, that is coming along well. We will be starting up towards the end of this year, roughly. And once that plant, so the impact of that will actually come up after that. And that is a state-of-the-art plant, which was the most modern plant perhaps in the country, where we are putting in a new pulping line of 215,000 tons and a new paper machine of 165,000 tons. And our output as a company, taking both our plants together, which is today about 260 or 270,000 tons, will actually go up to about 420 and 430,000 tons. So that's a pretty big expansion that's happening at a cost of about 1,650 crores.
The company was also looking for plantations and pulp mills outside India. What is the progress on that front? Have you identified any geographies?
No, we continue to look at different opportunities, is what I can tell you. I am not in a position to give you any concrete plan at this point in time, but we continue to look for it, for the simple reason that there isn't enough fiber in this country. And if we can find a source by which we can get fiber which is cheaper than what we have, then we can at least make pulp which is cheaper and which will bring down the cost of production.